Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, the 10th day of October 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders every day seeking to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep places clean, disease free, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are victims of pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the great demands that cause these industries to even exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. And millions of people around the world also in even worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night, the first game of the 2025-2026 season, preseason, at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks hosted the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Knicks and the Timberwolves' third preseason game. Last night, of course, Mike Brown and Minnesota, this is a carbon copy in a sense of a year ago, because after the Cat trade and Juju and DiVincenzo to Minnesota, there was a preseason game where the Knicks played the Timberwolves, and it had regular season intensity. It was a preseason game, though. And this game was very similar, at least for the first two quarters. It had regular season intensity. But you can see it was obvious the Knicks offense is not there yet. The defense is pleasantly surprising me and is there pretty well right now. They're playing very good defense, but it's still hard to tell because all teams are not shooting the ball well, because all the teams are still trying to get their feet under them offensively. So they're not shooting well. But last night, the Timberwolves shot 39, almost 40% from three. So they were shooting the ball well last night, several of them. So that has to be tightened up, especially Julius Randle. Now, the thing about Juju is, if you remember when he was a Knick, he always performed well against his Kentucky counterparts, whether it be Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis or Bam Adebayo. He always performed well against his Kentucky. He seems to get up for his Kentucky dudes. So he did the same thing last night. He was 2 of 3 from 3. He was cooking Cat early. Cat could not deal with him early. Mike Brown had to call a timeout. So that's normal for Juju. What I did like, of course, with the new offense, there's a lot of ball movement. Because he only plays the starters half the game, you really don't see it all yet, but the ball movement was really nice. I did notice a couple of significant things, like Mitchell Robinson only played 13 minutes last night. At first I wondered if he's hurt, but then I realized, no, they want to look at Jamison, they want to look at Porty, and they did. Jamison played last night. He played, and he's a straight 5, so he played 6 minutes. Porty played 11 minutes. So between 17 minutes between them two and 13 to Mitchell Robinson, that's 30 minutes of 5 work. And then you had Yabusele play 5 for a couple minutes, and of course Cat played 5 for 4 minutes. He played both the 4 and the 5. So Cat played 26 minutes. The only guy that's regularly shooting well is Mikal Bridges. He seems to really be thriving. The road runner is going to thrive in a motion offense. I mean, he's a runner, so he's going to thrive in a motion offense. And I think this might be his best year as a pro offensively, because he really, he usually starts off a little slow, but He's been looking pretty good on both ends of the floor. Brunson is still figuring out. I think Brunson is kind of playing with his food right now, not in a bad sense, in the sense that he's just really going through the motions of understanding the offense, what he needs to do, where he needs to be, where he can get his shots. And even Mike Brown said he hasn't let Brunson loose yet. So they're holding back a little bit so he can understand the entirety of the offense, how the ball is going to move, where he needs to get his shots, and so on and so forth. But that's going to come. And then Deuce played 27 minutes last night, and that I suspect is going to be more typical of what you see from Deuce. He played 27 minutes. He did not shoot the ball well, but of course he was +5 because the defense is on point. He was really, really good defensively last night. 2 assists, 2 steals, but he had a number of deflections that caused steals as well. So that's good. Clarkson, he gonna take some getting used to, y'all. He gonna throw up some bad shots. Okay, when the coach talks about taking better shots, or when Clyde Frazier says they need to take better shots, he's talking about Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson has put the ball up, but see, he was brought here to do that because he thrives at it. Remember, it's still preseason. So he was 0 for 6 from 3, 4 of 11 from the field, but he also was +7. He played good perimeter defense last night. I was not expecting a lot from Jordan Clarkson on the defensive end of the floor, but he played good perimeter defense last night. So that was good. If you notice, Malcolm Brogdon played 9 minutes. Like I said, during the regular season, you can expect to see 8 to 12 minutes for Brogdon. That will get the most out of him without him getting hurt. Okay, so all of these talk about him being a major rotation piece. He's going to be an important player for 8 to 10 minutes a game. Okay, that's what you can expect. Now, he probably thinks he can play more than that. But if you look at his track record, homie is hurt more often than not. So I like that they're managing his minutes the way they are. So that's good. I still think they're going to trade Tyler Kolek. I know they're going to trade Daddier because Daddier was the first youngin that came off the bench last night. Daddier was the first youngin, and Daddier got 15 minutes last night. So I'm pretty sure, and because it's not because, again, some people want to create a fault in a player because we're talking about trading him. Well, he can't do this or he's not doing that. It's not that. It's 2 other things. It's business first. It's the money. And then opportunity. Okay? So money in terms of Daddier, the reason he's being talked about is he makes almost $3 million, 2.8 something. So you add that to the 3.7 the Knicks have available, and that brings you to 6.5. And with 6.5, you can sign your rookie contract, Diawara, you can sign Shaman, and you can sign Brogdon. You can sign them, and you'll have $1 million left over. That's business. Opportunity is Daddier will get an opportunity to play. The Knicks have an opportunity to win a championship, and they need veterans. Okay? That's why this is. Same with Kolek. Kolek makes $2.1 million. If you trade him and get his number off your books, now again you got 3.7. If you trade Daddier, you're talking about 6.5. You trade Kolek, you got 8.6. Now you could actually have $2 million. You could sign 3 veterans if you want. And so there's more opportunity to sign more veterans to get this roster filled out. So I still think they're going to trade Kolek. And not only that, Kolek, to me, is a kid that, though he doesn't play good defense, let's just be frank about it, but he has offensive talent. I think he's going to be a good shooter in the NBA, and I think, obviously, we could all see he's an excellent passer. So on a team that's rebuilding, and give him rotation minutes, I think he'll perform pretty well. Now, he's not going to be able to stop too many people, but let's give him some time. He is a little older, so he needs to play, but he's not going to get that opportunity on the Knicks. He's not going to play because you got Brunson, Deuce, Brogdon, you got guys already that's in front of him, and he's not going to get the time that he needs to develop even. So um, I can see him being traded for the same. Like I said, it's the money too, but it's business, but it's opportunity for him as well. He's not going to get. He's going to be. Let's see, Kolick is 24, I believe. Yeah, he's 24. He's going to be 25 years old at the end of March. Um, he's got to be able to get some time to play. This is not just him. I'm saying there've been a lot of players in the NBA that are in his position. They just never get the opportunity because the competition is really stiff. It's the league, right? So for one reason or another, he not getting the time. If he was to get time, like a Jeremy Lin, I keep bringing up Lin with regard to Kohler because Lin was an anomaly. Lin was getting ready to get. He got cut. He had just got cut by the Lakers, and he's going to get cut by the Knicks. But they had injuries at their guard spot. They needed bodies. Here he was. He had to start against the Nets that first night of insanity. He had to. There was nobody else there. And he took full advantage of it. He didn't need to play no defense. He was in Mike No D'Antoni's offense. And he was the point guard. And he did his thing, turned that into money for himself, $25 million contract at the end of that season. So, sometimes it's just about opportunity. Jeremy Lin wasn't no defender either, okay? But obviously, he handled the point guard role very well. I think Tyler Kolick can be a similar situation. But the Knicks are a championship team right now. So he's not going to get time, and he needs time. So I'm still thinking, they'll trade both him and Daddy and create a lot of space, a lot of flexibility, and you could still add 3 veterans if they was. Because last night Garrison Matthews was 2 of 4 from 3. He played 11 minutes, and he played pretty good defense too. A spot-up shooter of spot-up shooters is Garrison Matthews. So I'd like to keep Brogdon, Shamet, and Matthews, and you could if you trade both those youngins. You could. So we'll see. We're going to know real soon because this is the 10th. In 10 days, you're going to know in 10 days. The Knicks play again Tuesday night. Who they play? They play again Tuesday night. So there's going to, my man's probably going to give a lot of players opportunity to see if they can make the team. The Knicks play, who they play Tuesday? No, they play Monday against Washington. They play in the Garden against the Washington Wizards on Monday. So it's going to get another opportunity. Like last night, McCullough didn't play. Alex Len didn't play. Matt Ryan didn't play. Well, we know Josh was hurt. Josh is sick, whatever, but he didn't play. But McCullough, Len, and Ryan, now McCullough's already signed to a 2-way deal. Len and Ryan trying to make the team. I don't think it's going to happen, okay? They're going to probably get some time Monday night, but I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to keep showcasing Daddy and Kolick and see what they can work out. I am sure that the Don is on the phone right now, been on the phone, trying to get the best deal for these 2 guys. And so we see what happens, man. So the Knicks looked good. OG Anunoby looked good. Brunson Towns looked good. He didn't shoot the ball well, but again, nobody was shooting the ball well except Bridges last night. Yabusele didn't shoot the ball well, but he looked good defensively. Tosan Iwoman, he looked good. I mean, Jamison looked good. Diawara is still feeling his way in there. I still feel Diawara is going to develop nicely in under Mike Brown. Porty looked good. Shamet looked very good. Deuce, I mentioned already. Clarkson, too. Brogdon looked good. Matthews, they all looked real good last night. And so just continuing the progression of getting ready for the season. What I'm liking of the game so far, even though I mentioned already, nobody's shooting the ball well at all. Like in the league, they're just not shooting the ball well. It's just early in the season. Defense is usually ahead of offense. But I am liking the fact that the Knicks are holding teams under 90 points or under 94. Like last night was 94. Philly scored 104, and then Philly scored 84. So, I mean, if you average that out, the Knicks are holding teams under 100 points. I like that. That's good defense. The defense is showing itself to be ready, So, yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. If they can continue to do that, continue to play that scrambling style defense, we're going to be all right, yo. The wins and losses in preseason are not significant. And only in the sense that it shows you're executing early, which is good. But they're not significant. It's being undefeated in preseason don't mean nothing. If you can do that, just carry it over to the season. Now, by the way, I was watching some other games. Cleveland looks good, even though they lost to Chicago last night. Like I said, it was preseason. Cleveland looks good though. What else? Boston is going to struggle. They're going to struggle. I don't care what they're saying, and that's why Jason Tatum is talking about coming back this season. I would still sit him. He's worried about too. He mentioned already. He's mentioned thoughts about him being traded because he's hurt. So he's anxious to get back and prove that he's still top 5 player in the world, which he was before this injury, which he will be again, in my view. But he's trying to rush back. I think they should not let him do that. But Milwaukee and Detroit, listen, the surprise team to me, I know Detroit's going to be good. Cleveland's going to be good. We know that. Okay, I don't think Boston's going to be as good as everybody as they're trying to act like they're going to be. They're not. But Indiana. See, this is the thing about Indiana. Yes, they lost Halliburton, and that was a big loss. But they really are not missing much because they got this other kid named Benedict Mathurin, and that boy could ball. And he's going to be getting a lot more minutes. I think Mathurin, this could be a breakout year for Benedict Mathurin. The biggest loss for them was Miles Turner. That was the biggest loss. But what they are doing, I noticed what this coach they got, Matt Barnes is another good coach, man. What he's doing is he's got a committee. So he's got Isaiah Jackson, this kid named James Huff, and Tony Bradley on his team. Now, Weissman is on that team too, but I don't expect a lot from Weissman. But Bradley, Huff, and Jackson are going to be by committee. And all of them, none of them are elite, but they're all grinders. They're all defenders. They're all grinding gym rat type dudes. But Nimhart, McConnell, Shepard, Mathurin, Neesmith, and their kid Johnny Furphy, of course, our boy Obi, Jarice Walker. They got a nice squad. And guess who just signed with them? First, DeLon Wright signed with them, but he got an unfortunately serious injury the other night, a brain injury. But Cameron Payne signed with them too. So they got a nice team. And of course, Siakam. They got a nice team. They play the same style ball that Brown is trying to get the Knicks to play. They play the same style ball. I think Indiana is going to be better than people think. I think they are. I'm not saying the Knicks can't overcome them. They can, but I am saying it's going to be a dogfight. That's what I am saying. It's going to be a dogfight. The Indiana Pacers ain't just going to roll over. It's going to be a dogfight. Okay, so Indiana, Detroit, Cleveland, New York. It's going to be a dogfight in the Eastern Conference. And then don't sleep. We got the ATL and the Bucks. Now don't sleep on the Bucks either. And of course Orlando, ATL, the Bucks. It's going to be a dogfight in the East. Well, look at it this way. It's always a dogfight in the East. See, the only difference this season is outside of BSPN. Most people understand the Knicks are top 2 in the East. Okay? And BSPN, who cares? But I'm saying it's always a dogfight. When the Knicks were not rated top 2 in the East, it was still a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight in the East. Ain't no cakewalk to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I still say the Knicks are the best team in the East. Period. And if they can get this Mike Brown offense down pat, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take, I don't think they'll be ready opening night with it. They'll be better than they are now, but I don't think they'll be ready opening night. You got to give them maybe 10, 15 games with it. And then they'll start clicking maybe after 15 games. when they get that down and they play this defense, this team is going to give the NBA a problem. There's no doubt about it. They're going to give the NBA a problem. We didn't have to have Josh Hart last night, and they did not skip a beat. See, that's how deep they are. And it's going to be like that all season. So, hey, y'all enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there, New York Knicks Nation. They play again Monday night. I'll be in D.C. actually, but I won't be at the game. But I'll probably be hopefully watching it on League Pass, something like that, on Monday night. But I'll be with my kids up there in the D.C. area. We'll talk soon. Please, again, be safe. Shalom.